it works for one tire, then gets all wonky for the second tire. You never know what the actual PSI is. Today, I'm testing that 1-star review from Tyler, as well as others on Amazon, with some of the most concerning 1-star reviews you could possibly imagine. My only rule is I have to leave an honest 5-star review. However, I cannot lie. I just picked up one of these off of Amazon. This is a cordless tire inflator that takes an M18 battery, gives you another option for, you know, keeping something around the car or keeping something really easy for the wife to fill up their tire with. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. It has a light to it. It has just a basic cord that comes with it and some additional accessories. Putting air inside your tire really simple. On the back side of it, it has a gauge to where if you just hook it up directly into the tire, it tells you how much PSI it currently has and where to set it to when you are inflating it. Now, from my understanding, you connect it, you click on the trigger, and it starts to inflate. One of the first ones that were given by Sebastian was that it can't be used without a battery. That's kind of obvious. I think what he was trying to convey is that it doesn't come with a battery. I've seen a lot of other reviews that were saying it doesn't come with a battery. The whole intent of this particular air pump is to be able to be used with your existing DeWalt battery or your existing Milwaukee battery. So Brian gave a 1-star review because he said the pressure reading is about 4 to 5 PSI off. Not a big deal in a car, but on motocross, it is a super big deal. I wouldn't be using this for high performance if that was my opinion. This is probably something you just keep in the back of your car to throw around, maybe because it's easy for your wife to use. I wanted to go ahead and check pressure of a gauge that I have, okay? That is just a regular off-the-shelf gauge that checks tire pressure, and that's the only function it does. And I have a Milwaukee tire inflator as well that I'm going to use to check up against it. So let's go ahead and do the tire pressure sensor first. I have it set to where it should be 50 PSI. From the get-go. That's what I had on there before. I wanted to make sure that both tires were actually set to 50 PSI. The display in the back's pretty good, but the buttons on it, I gotta say that they are a little bit chintzy. So here we have it. It is reading 48 PSI. And let's see what the Milwaukee tire inflator is reading. That's reading 51. Okay, so one's off by 1, the other one's off by 2. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that review is true. DB left a 1-star review saying it's too slow, so he returned it. I wanted to test the speed of the actual tire inflator, so I'm gonna do a head-to-head competition, air inflator versus the Milwaukee. But first, I wanted to confirm that the tires had the both same PSI. Now, I preset them to already 50 PSI, but what I wanna go do is go ahead and show you guys that it is set. Tire number 1's reading 49.5. Tire number 2, 49.5 as well. So let's go ahead and hook them up and run them head to head at the same time, and I'm gonna set them to 60 PSI. Let's see who gets there first. Both air inflators are set to 60 PSI. Let's go ahead and get started with this race. Ready? 1, 2, this one started about 2 seconds later. The Milwaukee's at 58 PSI. And the handheld, oh, even if I touch it, it looks like it changes the PSI. Look at that. It changes the PSI as I move it around. This is at 56. Okay, now the Milwaukee is completed already. 57.5. This thing is really like cheaply made. I mean, I'm just wiggling the top. That thing ain't handling a fall. 58.5, 59. I mean, as I touch it, it moves around. 59.5. Okay, 60. So I'm gonna go ahead and confirm DB's review. in this handheld air pump being slower. It is much slower than the Milwaukee, but how much slower? But let's go ahead and get the tire gauge and see how accurate they really are. The handheld is reading 63 PSI. The Milwaukee is reading 58 PSI, as you can see right there. There's a vast difference on exactly how much air was inflated. So I am telling you right now, definitely the PSI reading on the Chinese one is completely off. The Milwaukee's pretty off too as well. I gotta say it was off by 2, but it's been consistently off by 2. At least there's some sort of consistency behind it. Definitely confirmed that that review is definitely bad. Now, the other thing I wanted to check to see how hot it gets as well. Okay, this is for the first review from Tyler. 104 degrees, as you can see right there. And the Milwaukee's reading 121 degrees, okay? Now to the final one, I'm gonna run this air pump until it gets so hot. But let's go ahead and keep on running it. I'm gonna keep on deflating one tire. All right, I let out pretty much all the air out of that tire. 4.5 pounds of air on there. I'm gonna go ahead and pump it up to 60. So that's gonna be quite a haul here. As soon as it's done finishing up with this tire, I'm gonna go back to Tyler's review about filling up the second tire being all wonky. We'll go ahead and test that, but now we're waiting to see how hot this thing gets to be able to clear up the other review as well. So we're gonna knock out 2 reviews here and see how the performance actually worked out. I'm really interested in this one. It stopped at 47 PSI, saying that the battery needed to be changed, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the battery. Okay, I went ahead and hit 60 PSI on this tire. Let's go ahead and get the reading on the temperature here. 133 degrees, filling up one tire from 0 to 60 PSI. Let's go ahead and burn it through now on this other tire. You're reading 0 PSI on it right now, filling it up to 60. I'm gonna go ahead and time this one from 0 to 60 PSI. Okay, so it took about 10 minutes and 50 seconds to hit 60 PSI from 0. And that's all on one 5 amp hour battery from Milwaukee. I'm gonna test the touch on it. I mean, I can still hold it. It's not burning my hands, but it is. I did register that's 125 degrees, 132 degrees, averaging 120 to 132 degrees. There you have it. I mean, is it gonna burn up and catch on fire? I seriously doubt it. But you know, I mean, this thing is definitely chintzy. Plastic is really weak on it. I don't think it'll handle a fall. We'll try a drop test on it. But let's go ahead and see the accuracy of the PSI on the second run, which was the second tire, because that one review from Tyler said that after the first tire, the second tire is gonna be just completely wonky. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like here. 63 on the first tire, and let's go ahead and measure the second tire. 62 on the second tire. So I would say that the accuracy of what it's filling up to as far as the air is gonna be somewhat consistent. It was off by 1 PSI. I would say that review was a myth, so I'm gonna say that one's busted. Okay, so my true thoughts about what do I think this air inflator that is 40 bucks on Amazon, you pay for what you get for, okay? Obviously that the PSI is not gonna be reading completely accurate. Neither was the Milwaukee. So at the end of the day, it's somewhat in the range. I wouldn't use it for anything high performance. If you're gonna be race cars, you're obviously not gonna use a $40 air inflator. You got a problem if you're doing that. Now, moving along, I don't know how to handle a drop test. You know, I don't wanna destroy my battery with it, but you know, I don't know how many times I could really drop this thing before I would break it. Does it get hot enough to burn up? You know what? I didn't see anything like really get too hot to where it was gonna catch on fire. I mean, from my other test in Milwaukee, I actually got hotter faster than this this handheld one. So to me, that review was debunked as well. Now, also the one that was debunked as well was the one after filling up 2 tires. Now, I did go through some batteries to fill it up. I would say that the first one went through a 2 amp hour, then somewhere in the middle of that one, I went ahead and replaced it with 5 amp hour, and that was enough to complete the second tire up to 60 PSI. Having this as a backup in my garage is not a bad idea. I would probably have it. Having something to where you could throw it around, that's great. I can't test the longevity of it, of will it survive, you know, over a period of time? How many tires can I really fill it up to see how long it works for? But from what the testing I have done and completed onto it, it is satisfactory to say, hey, look, it is worth $40. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for my next video. Talk to you soon.